We've got a new series of videos starting shortly in Bonkers Economics, in which we're going to be digging deeper into the fundamentals of the broken UK economy, and in particular trying to find out what we can do, what needs to change in order for the economy to work better. And as a sort of preview to that, we're looking at some of the basic concepts around the economy. And this image here tells us something about wealth. So here we've got the word wealth through here, and across it we've got some other words which tell us something about what wealth really means in an important level. And here's the word hearth. Now that describes obviously the home, the family, the place where we feel at home and we feel safe, where we prepare our meals, where we have shelter. These are the sort of essential economic goods that we need in order to live our lives. And built into that, of course, is the word heart, and that takes us into our relationships. And also the word earth is there as well, and that takes us, of course, into the environment. We can't live good lives unless we have a healthy planet on which to do so. So that's fresh air, fresh water, and a healthy, thriving environment. And also in there is the word art, incidentally, and the word art takes us into the cultural realm. Culture is important in all sorts of ways to make ourselves feel that our lives are worth living. And then moving down, we've got value. Well, value is something that we think about as well. It's good value, meaning it's cheap or whatever, but actually our values are what we live by. So what is important to us? Value tells us what's important to us. What do we actually want? And without understanding what we mean by our values, we can't really know how we sit in the economy and what we want the economy to do for us. Because one thing we can be sure of is that we want the economy to bring value into our lives. And we need to know what those values are. And then below that, we've got trust here and we've got hope. And those are also quite key economic concepts because trust is about relationships and the economy is also about relationships. So trustworthy, trusting relationships are what make the economy possible. It's what make a thriving economy possible. It's what makes our lives possible. And then there's hope. Well, hope is also an economic concept because the economy is supposed to provide us with hope. We're supposed to feel that the economy has got our backs, if you like, will look after us. So if that's not happening, we don't have hope. If we feel hopeless, then the economy is clearly not working for us. It's not creating the wealth that we need. And right away through that, we can see this word well-being. Now, the word well-being's had a slightly odd reputation recently in economics. It's sort of associated a bit with a sort of hippie-ish ideas, but in fact, it's not really that at all. Well-being is just a way of saying what makes our lives good, what makes our lives worth living, what makes us healthy, what makes us happy, what makes things work for us in our lives, what allows us to be the best people we can. So well-being and wealth, well, they're very, very closely related. We need to understand what it is that's going to maximize the well-being that we experience in life, and that will be pretty close to the sort of wealth that we want to create. So that's wealth in our lives. That's one of the basic concepts of economics, and we'll be looking at a few of the other basic concepts too as we begin to explore in our new series what it is that the economy is not doing and what it could do differently to improve the quality of all our lives.